what's coming. Hope reveals itself as the pattern of love unfolds around the world. Change is inevitable, causing chaos and stress when it is unwelcome and resented. Change that is welcomed wholeheartedly has the opportunity to deliver hope and joy. As we release the old longings and limiting beliefs, we move toward acceptance, divine order, and the felt experience of the divine spark within ourselves and around us. As often is my way as a human, I start my conversation in the middle of whatever it is I have to say, leaving out some of the important stuff. So I was trying to avoid that this time. I love that Rev Ev and Sandra Gale start their talks with breath and meditation. I feel the value in that, but it's just not my way. Today, I've chosen to start my talk with a warning. I may use a word or words that I know are triggers for some of you recovering from painful religious experiences. Words that may have meaning to you other than my intention. I ask that you stick with me when that happens. I have faith in you that you will be able to take in what I'm saying at the level that I intend. I ask you to allow yourselves emotional space to be open and curious beyond your reactions. No need to judge yourself. Just be present. Just notice. While I recognize that this is considered a religious time by many people, I am not focused there today. I am focused on the intention that the divine wanted to manifest in using Jesus to bring forth the divine energy in a human body. I ask each of you to be in your highest consciousness today. I ask that of myself also. Writing this talk has been an intense experience for me. And that's probably why Dennis has been telling people, oh, it's going to be emotional. You need to be there. Each Sunday, I say how grateful I am to be here with you in this sacred space. Today is no exception. I am deeply, deeply grateful to be with you, co-creating the experience that we are going to have today and that we are having right now in this moment. You're here today because the divine presence, the divine spark, or your higher power, whatever name you want to label, that is the highest good in you, is awake in your life. We could also call it divine love. You've heard me use that word a lot, love, instead of the word God. It is time that you each know that divine love is a gift that dwells in each one of you. I see you. And you're invited to notice your reactions to my next words. just notice without judgment. I see that each person in this room has chosen to know yourselves at the deepest level possible in a human body. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Breathe often and intentionally. I will have to do the same today. Even though some of you may not recognize the divine spark living and expressing through you, I do, as do others in this room. Those who are present today. For those who doubt they are in a contact with the divine within themselves, I ask you to trust my words that I see you, even the ones whose heads are a little behind someone else. I see you and I know who you are at the core of your being. And here's an example how you can accept my statement. When I tell my husband that he is handsome, he says he doesn't see it. How can someone his age be considered handsome? He feels it can't be true, yet he is able to accept that's what I see. So I invite you to accept that I see the divine in each one of you. I see it in your presence, in the quality of who you are, and I see it in your actions. As we each awaken the divine spark within us, we create a web of love and light connecting us to each other and creating a bridge that strengthens others in their unfoldment of the divine present around the world. In humans, that energy is often called the birth of the Christ in the heart. I see this and feel this happening now as we open our hearts to create a new version of Unity of Beaverton that has begun unfolding with the hiring of Rev. Evan Wilkins.
Amen.
Yeah. Many of you are feeling the faith and hope that I feel as you find new ways to support this church by volunteering, identifying that needs to be taken care of, and then making sure those things get done. And you all know who you are. We have the possibility to co-create with the divine in Reverend Evan, a place that is desperately needed in the world and in this community, a place of refuge, a place of peace that we co-create with ourselves when we aim to be here, sharing who we are, sharing our love with each other, especially through hugs. Here within these walls is a place of respite from the outer world chaos for ourselves and others. During times of change, humans need a time out from the disorientation, the confusion, and fear swirling around and throughout our environment. Okay. Chaos is running wild around our planet, dismantling and cleansing old patterns, preparing us for transformation. We're being called, literally called, to remember who we are. Remember the love that we carry and offer that. Who are we? Who are we? aren't we divine beings within a human experience? Aren't we each endeavoring to grow ever more deeply and profoundly aware of the divine presence who created us? So yes, we have a physical body, we have an emotional body, we have a mental body, and we have an essential spiritual body. Within us, we have that very essence that we call, that many people call God, but there are many names used: Source, Creator, the One, the I Am, the being that created the cosmos, that created space and all that is in space, and all that, and the earth, and all that grows on the earth. Through duality, we are granted free will. The freedom to choose to be peaceful in the eye of the storm of chaos. We're given the opportunity to live, learn, grow through all our choices. Free will is what makes us powerful beings. The source who gave us free will dwells in us as the divine in us. I see heads nodding, thank you. We are a drop in the ocean, and we are the ocean. We are the whole ocean. W-H-O-L-E. At the same time, we are both. I now understand what that means. We are divine sparks, a drop of the divine, a drop of the Creator. We live and experience through our human bodies so that we can explore our powerful creativity. And yes, we are together. Together is the new buzzword, isn't it? Thank you, COVID. Yes, we are together in the vast sea of possibility that is unfolding right now, because we are in this room at this moment. We are co-creating the unfoldment of the divinity within each of us together, strengthening each other in our process. Yes, we each have unique chemistry, fingerprints, past emotional experiences that make us different from each other, to how our minds work. And we each have experiences that have led us to believe in something bigger than ourselves. We have come to believe in the divine Creator in small moments, in large moments, big, overwhelming moments. Now is the time for the divine presence within us to blossom into co-creating heaven on earth, co-creating, unfolding heaven on earth, the recognition that heaven is here right now. Collectively and individually, we have the power to do that because we are all in this together. As humans, we each have individuality on all levels. Yes, uniqueness, our individual physical body, etc., that I just listed. We each know our bodies, we know our emotions and our minds from the inside. And from the inside is where we connect and contact the divine. How do we know our divine spark? The divine reaches us, awakens within us through our spiritual endeavors, through our actions of loving kindness, through forgiveness of self and others, through our care for the earth, to name a few of the many ways that we use to acknowledge the God within. Sometimes I feel like our angels and guides are our guardrails, helping us to be a little protected from some mistakes, but that isn't their entire job. Sometimes they guide us in ways that help us to know who we are, and sometimes they don't protect us from experiences that will help us grow in our awareness of our own creative power. We draw experiences to ourselves to teach us about ourselves, what it is to be human, and also how we are powerful, powerful creators. As we experience life on planet Earth, we learn and grow through consequences of our actions. Some of us have the learning style that requires us to learn from experiences. Some of us learn from other people's experiences. And some of us are kinesthetic experience learners. We have to go through it. We have to feel it. We have to hear it. We have to taste it. We have to have the resulting consequence. And then we awaken to a deeper awareness and learn from it and make different choices. I recently had the opportunity to donate to an organization that claims to benefit autistic children and their families. I know a couple who have an autistic child, grandchild, which gives me a glimmer of what it's like for life in that situation. Their granddaughter is mostly nonverbal, so I have compassion. The person asking me to commit to supporting this organization had statistics that I was aware of and some that I wasn't, showed me a tablet with faces and of emotional experiences that they donate to families with nonverbal children, which would make communication with nonverbal people easier and reduce the frustration. Did it pull on my heartstrings? Oh yes. Did that make me vulnerable, can you already say the word, to donating? Yes, it did. And the young telling me all about this was also including the fact that he'd been working on the mountain and of course lack of snow had released him from his job. Did I donate without Googling the organization? Yes. In that moment, I totally forgot about due diligence. Later that day, I did Google the organization, and much to my chagrin, I learned that it had a few negative reviews, creating doubt that maybe there might be better organizations. It does appear to do some of the work that they claim. Maybe less than I had hoped. Now, here's what I learned from that experience. So now you know I'm a bit of a kinesthetic experiencer. I discovered a thread of arrogance and a need for humility. I'd heard so many stories about people being scammed. Of course, that was never going to happen to me. And though I don't believe this is a true scam, I do think there are better organizations out there. So I found arrogance within me, and I found it giving way to humility, to accepting that I am human, that I am all of this. I have compassion, I have love, and most of the times I am successful at expressing that, but not always. Sometimes I speak too fast. So I learned that both things are true. We are human, and we are divine sparks at the same time. Fortunately, this experience wasn't life-threatening or financially devastating, but it did give me a good look at who I think I am. By increasing my awareness of the divine spark within me, and helping me realize, yes, I still live in the world of duality, full of choice. Days later, story's not finished yet. Days later, I asked in meditation, okay, you need to breathe because I need to breathe, if there was more to learn from this experience. And I heard these words: compassion is never wasted. Kindness is never wasted. Many of us get to the higher experience through learning from our slower, lower frequency experiences. And I did. Oh, yeah, okay. It brings tears to my eyes, and then it's hard to read. Thank you for laughing and giving me a moment to get it together. Life on planet Earth gives us many opportunities to explore who we are. Each time we forgive ourselves, we are experiencing our divine spark within. Thank you. Thank you. And we're beginning to reveal ourselves to ourselves. We're beginning to reveal that we are so much more than our childhoods may have led us to believe. We are lighting the path to the divine through which the divine can unfold more brightly through us. And that lights the way for others. I know that some people went downtown to Portland and they were going to sing as they protested. And how calming that would be to the protesters who were so angry. So just know that no moment of peace within your heart is ever lost or wasted. And yes, even though we are all so amazingly unique, the divine within us expresses in amazingly unique ways. We show up for each other, we show up for friends, we smile at a stranger, we offer a hug to someone who appears to need it. Each time we pray, each time we acknowledge others with a compliment, we are connecting to the divine spark within us and them. By these gestures, these genuine acts, more space is created, more peace, more love, more joy unfolds and circulates around the earth, supporting those who seek to stabilize, to create systems that are falling and failing and not serving humanity as a whole. All genuine acts of love create bridges for divine sparks to unfold more deeply between us and always strengthening others. We are always at choice, even when we think we're not. How often we've heard people make a really bad choice and say, well, I had no choice. Not true. A few weeks ago, I lost a day by not paying attention to it. I was tired, I was in a fog. Those who know me often say that hearing my schedule makes them tired. True. Yeah, some of you are here. It is even odd to me to hear myself admit to being tired. I drifted unfocused through my day, sort of showing up but not aware of the things I had scheduled. And therefore, I missed some important events. So it's an opportunity to definitely forgive myself for having lost focus on the divine within me. Because when I am focused on the divine within me, I am centered. I am so centered. And of course, it's always an experience for self-forgiveness. The divine often reminds me that I do have potential if I'm willing to be present. Recently, some friends and I were talking, and all of us said how tired we'd been for days. And this person had also been in a meeting with a bunch of doctors who said, because of all the chaos that we're living through, the fear, the disorientation, that we needed to take very tender and loving care of ourselves. And that made me also forgive myself for judging myself for being tired. I had a right. Oh, thank you, Julie. So I remind you to rest. And if you find yourselves in fear about what is happening in the world, remind yourself that there is a divine order, that there is a plan underneath what the devastation, as it appears devastation, but it's really cleansing. So I've used the example of cancer. If you want to kill cancer, you really have to kill the cells. So if a system, if a government, or if a process isn't serving everyone, maybe it's time it dissolved and let something new and powerful and serving of everyone unfold and arise. There are things that we can do and ways we can be that will help the divine presence unfold through us and into the environment around us. We can acknowledge that the world is our mirror. War is a bigger experience for many people right now than it is for those in this room. I hope that most of you here find yourselves not at war with yourselves, but holding the vision of peace within you so that it fills your energy field and others can feel peaceful around you and within you. And so that as the new systems unfold and make themselves a glimmer, we can jump on that. We can go, oh, I recognize that. That serves more people. That is compassionate. We all have a part to play in the healing of the world. I have no doubt. And a good place to start is becoming aware of the divine presence within our hearts. You've heard me say many times, we are powerful beings. Each and every one of you is a powerful being. Every one of you. And so much more powerful than we know or give ourselves credit for. And that source of power within us and creativity is the divine within us that is ever unfolding. The ever-unfolding presence that some of us call the I Am, but as you know, many names. We live and move and have our being within the divine ocean of life. We are divine sparks, living and experiencing through our human bodies so that we can explore our powerful creativity, our powerful co-creativity. When we interact, we are always co-creating. And yes, we are all in this vast sea of possibility that is unfolding at this time. And because we, each of you, are in this room at this moment, we are co-creating the unfoldment ever greater of the divinity within us. How do we know our divine spark? The divine reaches us, awakens itself within us through our spiritual body, through our heart, our mind, and our spirit, our soul. And so do not be confused when someone does something that you don't understand, but yet you feel, well, that feels right, but it doesn't seem right. It's because our uniqueness also manifests divinely and uniquely. We may not recognize it the same way. It's not the same in each of us, but it is the essence of us. We are all together in the oneness. You've heard that before too. Each one of us who speaks here on Sunday is co-creating with the divine in ourselves, individually, and with each of you collectively. Together, we are experiencing the divine that is inside each of us. The being that created everything, that we, as humans, see. The vast cosmos, the planets, the galaxies, and all that is known of this realm and all of those. That being, capital B, dwells in us and gifted humanity with the awareness of the sacred creative energy known as the Christ. Christ was never a person. The word Christ was the word used to label the energy of the divine presence manifested through the man named Jesus. His life was to show us that there is a creative divine presence within each one of us. Jesus was filled with the Christ energy so that his life taught us that we have the power to be healers. We have the power to be light. And his resurrection, his death and resurrection, show us the way to our eternal home beyond this life as a human body. Some of us actually do believe in eternity. Some of us do believe that yes, there is such a thing as immortality, but it's not in the physical necessarily. It is in our energy, our spiritual, our soul body that continues on. Yes, thank you. So let us say hello to the divine within ourselves through our closing meditation. You might want to sit comfortably, eyes maybe closed, maybe not, feet on the floor. And begin noticing your breath. Woo. Breathe in and dissolve gently as you exhale. Notice your body. It is the dense part of you that you can touch with your hands. Breathe in and out loud. Let out a soft sigh. feeling. Breathe in, and as you exhale out loud, with a soft ah. Now, tune into your mental body, your mind. Notice what you're thinking right now. Breathe in and exhale, watching the word that forms. Breathe in and exhale, and begin repeating out loud after me. I am not. I am not my physical body. I am the self, experiencing through this body. I am not my emotions. I am the self, gaining awareness through my emotions. I am not my mind. I am the self behind my thoughts. I am the divine presence, growing in awareness and expressing through me, and expressing through me. I am now aligned with the divine that dwells within all creation. Breathe in and out. And just notice what you notice in the next few minutes of silence. And now, thank you for repeating after me. My final sentence is this: the divine in me greets the divine in each of you, that is ever unfolding and expanding as awareness. And as Evan likes to say, Namaste, the divine in me.